About halfway through editing this week's original video, I realized it would be pretty strange not to mention that the new Spider-Man magic set drops in just a few hours. So that video's on pause, look for it in 2 weeks, because today I'm diving into the cards that have me the most excited. I'm heading to the pre-release a few hours after uploading this, and I can't wait. Quick tip for anyone breaking packs or heading to the pre-release, bring your trade binder. You might pull something, maybe even one of the cards I'll highlight, that others want. New set releases are perfect for growing your collection. Not everyone will want an Aunt May as bad as I want it. I need it! Not in a weird way. So here's my list of standout cards, ranked by how excited I am to build with them. Slot them into decks or face them across the table. Let's start with the most popular commanders. So let's start off with Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom is really interesting. It basically has to go in a mono white deck, and if it's your commander, then obviously it will be. When he's cast, he reanimates something, and his second ability is that whenever something hits him, he grows stronger. The problem I have with Anti-Venom is the fact that it has to be cast to reanimate. If it was an Enters ability and you could blink him and you could reanimate your entire graveyard, he would be amazing. I don't even think he'd be that busted, but he would be good. The fact that it's a single cast, maybe you bounce him to your hand and cast him again, the first ability basically has no impact. Reanimating one thing, even if it's a really good card, doesn't do a lot in Commander. And his second ability requires you have a Pariah Shield, or what's the new one? With Great Power. It's good, but there's no fight spells in white, and once you grow him, then what? You have to give him Trample or Flying. There's a lot of hoops to jump through for not that great a payoff. Lady Octopus. I am bored to tears by artifact decks, but being rewarded for drawing cards and being able to cheat artifact spells into play at instant speed, I'm pretty interested in this one. Gwen Stacy, the first of the flippers, and therefore the worst. Gwen Stacy, I think I want to like. Her front side basically doesn't do anything. It's set up for later. It's fine. Her backside wants to go 2 directions. Now, your commander doing 2 different things is normally fine, can be even good. But with Gwen, these are opposite directions. You either want to cast a ton of things from exile to grow her really big and make her a lethal threat, or you want to shrink her to cast things from exile, to grow her to cast things from exile. It's a weird combination of counters and storm, and I just don't think it quite has it. Gwen Numb, Remorseless, on the other hand, I think is pretty sweet. A Bolas' Citadel in the command zone is really cool. I love these kind of kamikaze decks where if I don't win this turn, anybody even looking in my direction will kill me. Those are fun. I will admit though, the combo-centric builds that Gwenom will definitely inspire are lame. Peter Parker. I love cheating things into play, but this one seems a bit too fair. Peter Parker costs 4 mana, and then his ability costs 3, so unless you're ramping really high, you're not going to be able to do this in one turn. You're just asking for Spider-Man to be removed. Not to mention, if you are ramping a ton, then you can just cast the big spells. Keep them all out on the field. Plus, Spider-Man has Vigilance, so if you're desperate to cheat something into play, you can't do it with the one thing you know you'll have. Miles Morales, my boy. Personally, I don't love counters decks, and Naya counters especially has been way overdone. They all include like the same 35 cards. It's fine. I like his camouflage ability. I like Miles Morales. I think his front side and his back side work well together. I just don't care. My boy J. Jonah Jameson. Can we talk about how J.K. Simmons was the most accurate comic book casting of all times as J. Jonah Jameson?
Are you serious?
They wouldn't dare recast him in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and they just brought him back for the new ones. Also, the second best casting for a comic book character is J.K. Simmons as Jim Gordon. I don't know how he does it, but he's doing really good stuff. J. Jonah Jameson, on the other hand, is cool. He's fun. You know, he casts all the 1 and 2 drop menace creatures that there are. When he comes down, swing with him, get some treasure. Untap, swing with him again. You have so much mana. You can cast anything. Any red big spell you wanted, you could cast it. Which red big mana spell? I don't know. You tell me. Eddie Brock. Disciple of Bolas is probably one of my favorite black cards of all time. Definitely one of my favorite black creatures. And this is that without the life gain, but with cheating something else into play. It's free. You don't go down a creature like you would with Disciple of Bolas. If the creature you sacrifice has a death ability and the creature that entered has an enters ability, then it's better than free. You get so much value. I will say with Eddie Brock, however, I love Venom. I don't think I would ever cast his front side. Venom wants big things to be sacrificed and brought back. You're not going to have a ton of 1-drops, maybe a mana dork or two, but I just don't think I would really ever cast Eddie Brock. Even if I had nothing to do between 3 mana and 5 before Venom came down, I probably wouldn't cast him because he would just be open to removal at that point. Mr. Negative. This one is so cool. I'm gonna really sound like I'm trying to be hip and cool, but bro's just got aura, man. Just sitting across the table from you in the command zone, you're scared. At any moment, well, once they have enough mana, they could tank their life to 1, cast him, now your life is 1, and then they, cast a Sign in Blood or something, target player loses 2 life, you're dead. That's so sweet. Or they could hold on to their life and say lose 13 and draw 13 cards. Blink them and then swap lives back. Like, it's just so cool. What a fun thing to sit across from. I don't even know how playing it would go, but just the politicking would be really fun. It makes the game fun. And now finally, the commander that I am most interested in building or playing against is Norman Osborn. Turning looters into card advantage is so sweet. And even better than card advantage at a discount. I mean, I don't need to tell you how good that is. It is really good. Discard a Arcane Signet, cast it for free. It's so fun. The only thing I will say is that Norman Osborn would go so good in a green goblin deck, and you can't have both. I mean, you could clone them or whatever, but I just wish that they were 2 separate cards so that Norman could go in the green goblin deck. So what do you think? We're still going to go through some of the cards that I think would be really good in the 99, but what are some commanders that you're excited to build? Or a path with a commander that I didn't see and maybe I should be more excited about that commander? Let me know down below, and while you're there, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. First off, a card that a lot of people are saying is the next Esper Sentinel, and I just don't see it, is Rent is Due. Comparing this to Esper Sentinel is criminal. Esper Sentinel comes out on turn 1 and could draw you... If it draws you 3 cards, that's amazing. Rent is Due cannot come down turn 1. If it does, it gets sacrificed next turn. Real quick before I continue with Rent is Due, this card was spoiled on September 1st. It was Monday. I was playing Commander with my friends. And we're talking about Spiderman spoilers and how excited we are. And one of them goes, "Have you seen Rent is Due?" And I go, "No." And as I'm reading it, I'm like, wait a second. Rent is due. I have to pay my mortgage. So I immediately pulled up on my phone and paid it. Whoever at WotC decided that the 1st should be the day that this was spoiled really was looking out for us. I really appreciate that. Turn 1 in Commander doesn't matter all that much. That's why tap lands are so common. But the later turns, the middle turns, I would say, will win you the game. If you are really precise with your mana, you're spending it all, you're getting every possible resource, you're probably going to win that game. So taking time off to instead play this and make sure that you have enough things to tap, can really slow you down, I think, in a way that is actually detrimental to your game plan. I don't think Rent is Due is good. I think Rent is Due is bad. However, I do think it's hilarious that Rent is Due is a card in Magic. I think it's funny for that. Iron Spider, Stark Upgrade. I don't play colorless decks, but I recognize that this is a really good piece for them. Electro, Assaulting Battery. I think this is a good card. I think this will kind of always come second to the Burgies, the VVs of the world. Speaking of Electro, a card that he would love to have is Heroes Hangout. A lot of people are saying that this is probably the best card for Standard from this set. I don't play Standard, but I do see that it is really good. I don't play a lot of cantripping decks anymore, but this is definitely one of the best red ones there has been. Peter Parker's Camera. I love copying abilities, and I don't think the 3 film requirement will really come into play that much. I think the 2 mana it costs at the time that you're trying to copy the ability is more restrictive than it sounds. Multiversal Passage. I like Multiversal Passage. Choosing your color is really strong. I will say though, I think people overvalue this type of effect. If you have a mountain, an island, and a command tower on your board on turn 3, you could cast either a double red or a double blue spell. With this, you can't. You have to choose the double blue or the double red at the time. It's not a big deal, but I do think it's not really going to go in any 5 color decks. 4 color might be stretching. I think this is 3 and 2 color for sure. Villainous Wrath. So token decks already hate board wipes. And Villainous Wrath, punishing them further by docking them life, it's villainous. It's hilarious. Chameleon. This will be a good card. It's Spark Double with a potential mana discount. It's going to be strong. Spider-Punk. In Spider Tribal, I think this will be really strong, or in one of the red spider legendary creatures like Miles or Gwen, this is amazing. Outside of that, it doesn't do a lot, but in there, it's one of the best cards to have in your opening hand. Spider Sense. A 1-mana counterspell that also targets triggered abilities. Pretty good. I do think the potential for benefiting from your creature returning to your hand and countering a thing is really narrow. I think it won't really happen ever, very rarely at the least. But it's a 1-mana counterspell with the downside of it being just a 2-mana counterspell. So it's pretty good. Hydro-Man is blue ramp, but it can only be used on your opponent's turns for ramp. So you have to be in a pretty instant heavy deck, which blue likes to do. And it can hit pretty hard sometimes. Soulstone is obviously busted. It's going to be the most expensive card in this set, especially when all of the stones are out and people want to make an Infinity Gauntlet deck. Imposter Syndrome and Spider-Verse could be fun. Agent Venom. I like Flash. The keyword, not the character. Well, this is a card that we play with Flash. A+. Now the final card, Hide on the Ceiling. I think this card is really good. It reminds me a lot of Galadriel's Dismissal. It can be used offensively or defensively, and Galadriel's Dismissal has won me a lot of games. Now finally, no one's talking about these, well, no one's talking about one of these cards, but these are the 2 cards that I will end the video with that I am personally very excited about. First being Aunt May. I said it in the beginning. I'm going to put it in my Amalia Soul Sisters deck, where I have almost all the Soul Sisters, and if you have like a Guide of Souls or something, I'm looking to trade for it. Another 1-drop Soul Sister will be so good in this deck. Get out of here, Dazzling Angel, that card sucks. The second card is Spectacular Spider-Man, kind of the poster boy for this set, it feels like. And if I had to choose, I mean, come on, it's gotta be the black suit. This will also be going in my Amalia deck. Amalia will explode the board when she hits 20 power, including my own. Normally I don't mind if I have a couple of Blood Artist effects out, but if I don't and I want to keep my stuff, then I will rely on Selfless Savior or Boromir to protect my stuff. I also include cards like Dawn's Truce. The issue with Dawn's Truce is Amalia really wants as many creatures as possible. Spectacular Spider-Man is a strict upgrade. I know it's 1 more mana, but it being a 2-mana creature really matters in this deck with Mentor of the Meek, Raise the Past, and other things like that. I know, at least online, this set is being maligned. I will admit, I am not sure how great the limited environment will be, but for Commander, there are a ton of fun cards to add to your decks, or build around. If you like Spider-Man, I have to think this is a dream come true. I know this video is very different from my usual stuff. I decided very late into the video making process to slap this together, so I frankly needed to do something that requires less editing. I'm not sure if this is the format I will do for every set release. Let me know, did you enjoy this? Would you like this style video if I used my normal frantic editing technique? All feedback is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.